Hello guys, welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about one of the most common question I get every other day. So I thought of making an exclusive quick video to answer this question. The question which I'm being asked very frequently is how to run all of these large language models in a production environment in an enterprise in your company for your own use case. You have seen me running these models on LM Studio, on Olama, on llama.cpp, on various other tools, even out of the bat in the Python scripts or API based. So the question is valid. I totally get it. And that is why this video. Now, the thing is that LLM is just an application. It is just an engine. You can deploy it in your environment, but it won't really do much for you if you just chat with it, especially the base models or instruction tuned models. For fun and giggles, it is okay, but you won't really get a real value out of it, and I totally get it. Until and unless you integrate these models with some of your applications, you really don't get any value. So, this is the first thing you need to remember. If you are looking to deploy these large language models or these large vision models or small language models, you need to make sure you have a use case as per your company. For example, you have your own legacy applications, you want to understand their code. That is a good reason to deploy a code model. And then the question arises, where do you deploy that code model and how do you deploy it? And that is a question I'm trying to answer in this video. First option is cloud-based services. So I would highly suggest that instead of building your own mega servers from scratch and going and buying GPUs and then memory and building the whole gig there, if you can do that, that is awesome. Or if you have some legal requirements, some industry regulations, yeah, by all means, in your own data center, build a mega server, put in a GPU, and get the NVIDIA GPUs, and you should be good to go. And then which GPU should you should buy? That is another story, another video, and I will do it in another video. But as a rule of thumb, the bigger the model, the more GPU you would need. And for example, if you are looking to deploy 70 billion model, go with multi GPU setup. If you're looking to deploy anything 7 billion or less, and then it also depends upon how many users are going to use it, go accordingly. Maybe A100 is fine for that, but really depends upon the use case. So instead of so I'm not going to focus on your own system and how to build it. That is a separate discussion. That is one option though. Other option which I would highly recommend you should go for is cloud-based service provider, which is a convenient and scalable way to deploy LLMs, because these services offer pre-trained model. For example, you can access to pre-trained language models like BERT, Robert, or maybe OpenAI, Gemini, Claude, and all those. You just use their API and you access them. You don't have to worry about infrastructure. You don't have to manage it. You don't have to worry about scalability or whatever. All you do is you make an API call and use those models and embed them in your application. Downside, quite expensive. Also, they throttle you, and even if you are paying them good dollars, they throttle you still. There is bit of latency and highly dependent upon your internet connection. So those are the downsides. But there is another option, as you can see on your screen, massed compute. These massed compute guys, what they do is they offer you cloud GPU. So if I click on cloud GPU, and there are various other companies too. So you see that they have these all of cloud GPUs there. For example, you can rent out A100. For example, if you go to the creator one, then you see I am the this is mine one. If I click on deploy here, you will get exact same machine which I use. So from there you can select your GPU type. For example, if you have a requirement for A100, you can select that, but I normally go with this one, RTX A6000. I need one GPU, and then this is my image. It contains everything I use. And from there, if you have any coupon code which you can get from my video's description, you put your coupon code here. which will give you 50% discount, and then click on deploy, and that's it. Don't worry about anything else. Once you deploy it, you are going to get a key, an IP, and password. You can simply log in through putty. And so this is another option which you can use. Rest of the options are something like cloud-based services. For example, in AWS cloud, which is a public cloud, you can get something like Amazon SageMaker, where you can deploy your models, where you can train your models, fine tune your models. You can create data sets, you can do ground truth, lot of stuff you can do in this Amazon SageMaker. And this is quite an old service, by the way. So you can deploy it there. And then similar service Google Cloud has, which is called as Vertex AI. And then Azure has this Azure AI platform. And then we have Google as, something called as Oracle's AI, as you can see here. And IBM has Watson Studio, and then Azure has Azure Machine Learning, and the list goes on and on and on. There are heaps of them. Alibaba has one. So this is another option. Other than that, you can go with container ones. For example, you can go with the AWS sort of. For example, if you go to AWS, and you can simply use their Docker services. You can go to Google, use their Docker services. You can deploy them on Kubernetes. It is quite portable, efficient, scalable, and isolated, but expensive and hard to manage and complex to run if you're especially running on Kubernetes. But it is if you have a big shop, then I would highly suggest it. Other than that, you can go with the model serving platform, which I already mentioned, like OpenAI, Mistral, Hugging Face, and few others, which provide you model versioning, monitoring, logging, scalability, and security. And if you want to deploy it yourself, there is another option. You go to any cloud provider like AWS, you create a VM, which AWS called as EC2, and they have some accelerated VMs, which means that they have GPUs. For example, you can go with these classes, and they vary from pricing and how much their specs are. For example, this P1 is the most expensive one. When I have to do it in AWS, I normally go with G5 instances. G5 2x large is quite good. I think it offers you around 24 GB of VRAM, and you can check it. I mean, if you go onto this page, they have all the details, like how many GPUs they have, how many CPUs they have. You see, so these are all the details there. So how many IOPS you can get. You can also get to their pricing calculator. For example, this is a bit accelerated memory, and you can get it pricing too. Other than that, you launch these EC2 instances. You can either, and just like I do, I install Hugging Face Transformer, or you can go with Spacey, PyTorch. There are a lot of inference machines you can get, or you can even install LM Studio, serve it, model through it. You can install Olama and serve it, and then access it on publicly. You can do that. So these are the options. Depends upon your use case and budget. If you ask me, I would highly suggest go with a cloud provider. If you don't want to manage anything, go with model provider like OpenAI, Anthropic's Claude, Google's Gemini, Mistral. Go with them. But if you want to manage it at your own, then either go with this VM based. It could be Amazon, it could be Google Cloud, it could be Azure, it could be any cloud, but go with their GPU provisioned ones. So these are the options. It's up to you really. You would have to do the legwork. You would have to first specify your budget, and then you have to compare the prices. And they all of them have the prices on their websites. From there, you just compare them. Maybe you go talk to them. Maybe you will get a more discount, and then go for your preferred one. That's it, guys. I hope that this was useful. Let me know what do you think. If you still have questions, please put them in the comments. And especially my request is that if you're already using, please share your experience in the comments, because everyone is learning. This field is evolving. So it will be really good if you could also share your experience, your options, your what you are using, so that others would be able to learn it too. So that will be awesome. I hope that this was useful. Let me know what do you think. If you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you're already subscribed, Please share it among your network as it helps a lot. Thanks for watching.